An affordable phone that has style and personality. That's quite a rarity for a cheap device, isn't it? The Samsung Galaxy A style claims to bring it to the market. This is Victor with PhoneArena with a review of this affordable device that has a 4-inch display, a dual-core processor, and a 5-megapixel camera. What's it all about? Is it any good? And how does it fare against the fierce Android competition? Let's find out. The Galaxy A style has attention to looks embedded in its name, and it does indeed stand out with its vertical stripes on the back, but that's about as far as style goes on this device. For all else that's worth, it's made out of very cheap feeling matte plastic and looks no different than any other affordable Samsung device. With that said, build quality is actually fine. The device feels solidly put together with no squeaking parts. Being a 4-inch phone, the Galaxy A style is very compact, fits comfortably in the hand and in pockets, plus it's great for single-handed usage. It comes with a 4-inch display with a resolution of 480 by 800 pixels and pixel density of the quite decent 233 ppi. It is not pixel perfect, but it still looks fairly sharp. In terms of colors though, this is quite a middling display, even for such a cheap phone. The screen looks very noticeably bluish and it does not support the 16 million colors that is the practical standard nowadays. Some colors are also way off and the color count actually stands at the quite antique 262,000 colors. In terms of viewing angles, the display holds its ground okay and colors wash out at an angle but not hugely. Using the display outdoors is a bit problematic. With a low peak brightness and a reflective screen, you'd need to shield the screen and stare carefully to see what's on it. We should also note that the phone does not feature extras like an ambient light sensor or a proximity sensor, so you'd need to adjust brightness manually. We're happy to see the Galaxy A style ship with the latest Android 4.4 KitKat, optimized specifically for such kind of affordable devices with just 512 MB of RAM. On top of it sits the TouchWiz Essence UI, a new version of Samsung's custom skin that borrows design clues from the flagship Galaxy S5. The skin is by no means as rich, but the Tizen-inspired toggles, the redesigned app drawer and menus all look modern and in line with the latest from Samsung. Some usual Samsung apps, however, are missing, probably because of the low amount of internal storage. Still, basic functionality is well covered with core applications. We notice a few quirks though. The phone book takes quite a while to load and apps like the camera are also a bit slow to start. For texting, you have Samsung's custom keyboard with 4 rows of characters and it's comfortable to type on with well-spaced keys. The Samsung Galaxy A style ships with a 1.2 GHz dual-core Broadcom chip, roughly on par with the Snapdragon 200 in terms of performance. Is it for the heavy TouchWiz or else, but lag here and there is definitely noticeable. The phone has 512 MB of RAM, which might not ring well with some games, but we did try some casual games and they ran just fine. In heavier titles though, the chip definitely goes out of breath. Internal storage is the big problem here. You have 4 GB of which around 1.5 gigs are actually available for use, and with KitKat's ban on installing apps on external microSD cards, that is a problem. Still, you can record other files and expand the storage via microSD cards of up to 64 gigs. To surf the web, you only have Chrome on board. That's not bad news at all, as Google's browser is quite fast. Scrolling around and zooming in and out is fairly smooth, with just an occasional lag, and it syncs effortlessly across devices. The A style lacks 4G LTE but has speedy HSPA+ connectivity, and other options include Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 4.0, GPS and NFC. The Galaxy A style comes with a 5-megapixel autofocus camera with no flash, plus it also packs a basic front-facing shooter. The camera interface has Galaxy S5-like looks, but takes quite a while to start. Once loaded though, you have separate buttons for image stills and video capture, and a third button gives you quick access to a very rich selection of shooting modes, including ones previously reserved for flagships. Have night, sports, panorama, but also continuous shot, sound and picture, anti-fog and so on. The actual quality of images is above the average for such an affordable phone, and pictures have very good level of detail and look pleasingly sharp. However, all photographs we took had lackluster, dull colors and just lack liveliness, and that's a bit of an issue. The front cam is a very basic VGA shooter that captures very low res, barely usable photographs. You can snap a selfie with it, but it will hardly be a picture worth sharing. The main camera records video at up to 720p at 30 frames per second, and we're pleased with the smooth frame rate and overall the video looks fine. The 4-inch display is large enough for checking out videos on the go, but the bluish colors take some of the pleasure out of media consumption. For videos, we managed to play back 720p clips in different codecs, and the phone also ships with Google's Play Music app for MP3s and other music. Sound output via the loudspeaker is loud but not particularly clean, and it lacks depth. Call quality is actually pretty good on the Galaxy A style with no major issues. The earpiece is loud and, save for the occasional slight digital undertone, sounds clear and intelligible enough. Voices on the other end of the line lack a bit in depth but are again perfectly audible, and you can recognize the natural tonality of callers' voices. The phone ships with a 1500 mAh battery. In real life use, we had no problem going through a full day without having to worry about recharging the phone, but not much more. You can also easily remove the back cover and swap the battery, an option that is neat for, say, travelers that don't have access to a charger for longer periods of time. In conclusion, we ought to say that the Samsung Galaxy A style arrives in a very different market than what it was just last year. In the past couple of months, we saw devices like the Motorola Moto G bring excellent value for the money, and now the Motorola Moto E is another rival that is priced similarly to the Samsung Galaxy A style but offers a better display and a smoother performance thanks to its pure Android. If you're looking for other alternatives, you can also look at Windows Phone and the Lumia 520 and Lumia 525, which have an excellent camera experience and capture very good and very detailed and great looking images. Now, on its own, the Samsung Galaxy A style is not a bad device, but it simply does not pack enough punch for the money. For a more detailed review, make sure to go to PhoneArena.com, and thanks for watching.